Hello everybody, System Chalk here with another episode of the Apostle Obsonate playthrough as Ike Upscribe. Some of you know that I was streaming Cultist Simulator on the Steam page this weekend, and so I'm going to need a little bit to catch up on where the playthrough is, but I don't want to spend too much time on that. So let's just review our verbs and see where we're at. So Season of Ambition's coming up. A Savorous Blood. We've already, 300 seconds of this. I'm not really going to be able to use it, so I need to find something to do there. There's going to be the delay at the board seat for Glover and Glover. I don't know if there's any notoriety on the board right now, but we do have another expedition. That's right. We were clearing out the unnumbered stones, so we're fine there. Right now, Leo is getting rid of notoriety. That's why I suppose the board seat was allowed to decay. And we are currently not taking advantage of Dream. And I suppose that might be because I haven't been... taking advantage of Secret Histories? I think this is the Land Beyond the Forest, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, yeah, so we've got what we need from the Land Beyond the Forest. Now, if I'm going to be upgrading these Forbidden Epics, I suppose... I suppose I should be getting more of them. So right now, I need Erudition and Glimmering. Those are not hard at all to get. So what I'm trying to think about right now is how can I best position myself for the next few rounds? We know that the Unnumbered Stones are not going to be getting me any additional books. And we have Matthias and the Amethyst Imago. We've got the Book of True Blood, and we have got the High Mysteries of the Innermost Chamber of our Church Solar. These are ones we can translate. Obviously, we've got books that we can't translate. So it seems to me, if I'm going to be upgrading to get to the next expeditions, 6 Forbidden Epics aren't going to cut it. I'm going to need... that'll get me 3 locations, and it's pretty clear that there's going to be more than 3 that I work with here. So perhaps I might actually want to start going back through the Stag Door and trying to get some Forbidden Epics. I can obviously also try to upgrade some Forgotten Chronicles. So basically we've got 3 books that we can read, and then the study verb becomes open, which is good because of course I'll be using the study verb to gain some glimmerings and such. So I think it's time for me to start going back through the Stag Door if I've been ignoring it. Actually, let me just double check that there isn't anything that I want to get rid of. The other thing that's I think might be disappointing for this playthrough is I haven't really had to deal with any hunters other than the Weary Detective, but in this case I can manage the Weary Detective. It's less clear that I can handle a harder detective. We've obviously got rid of DeLong now, but I don't necessarily see any reason why I should want to make things harder for myself. So, the Stag Door is the Adept's Gate. To pass it is to be initiated into the first true mystery of the House of the Sun. The headgear weeps to see me enter where it cannot, but it must let me pass. The scarred valves of the door grind open. Alright, optimism is the spice which saves. So, good news for us, we don't have any notoriety again. If I want to spend a round at the board seat on Glover and Glover, I can do that. We're okay for money, but we can probably do a bit better. How am I Spintrea-wise? The bronze Spintrea I might want to use to repair certain artifacts. Looks like we've got a cracked Wild Ring mirror, so maybe that's what I'll use the talk verb now, just so we can clear that out. This would be Tristan. We haven't used you. Significant meetings in a smoky meeting room. What do I need from my follower? Fix this, please. We can begin to repair this, but it will take at least a bronze Spintrea to purchase the necessary materials. Our expedition plans for the next challenge. It'll consume funds. I can add funds now, or I can send another follower. So we're up against the Peril-Proud Forest. So in this case, we need Practicalities of Forge or the Mysteries of Moth. In this case, we went down Moth. The Watchers can be handled with Moth as well. And finally, the Hidden Door, which needs Lantern or Knock. And I don't believe we have either. But I think what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to add funds first. So this is because we know that we're going to have to deal with three challenges, so I might as well prepare for that. And I'm just avoiding adding Lantern or Knock this time around, simply because if something fails and we have a wounded follower, I would prefer not to lose some, obviously if I lose someone like Enid or Neville, there's going to be problems there. Although, where is Neville? Did I already send him on the expedition? That wouldn't make sense because we don't have any knock. As again, because I was streaming on the, we didn't lose him, did we? I'll have to go back and check the videos, I think. Yeah, unfortunately, occasionally oh, that's where we lost him. All right. The summoning is struggling against my control. I could use reason to dismiss it safely, which is always reliable. I could try to reassert control with passion, which is not reliable. Or I could let what will happen, happen. Neville is being used in the summoning, right? What is my advantage for keeping a Callagene? What is my advantage for getting rid of it? Well, I think this Callagene's only got 23 seconds left in the world, so I kind of want to, if I want to be using it, I need to keep it constantly in use. I'm not entirely sure that I really need that right now. Like oh wait, we still have the tentative evidence. Okay, so yes, I did kind of want to keep the Callagene around. How's our? Okay, we don't have a season of suspicion coming up. I think I'm going to roll the dice. And I think what I'm going to do is I will just make sure that the Callagene goes into the talk verb. So let's use reason to get rid of it, because we'll always have the opportunity later. All right, we've read the Devoured Tantra. A million blazing fires in the belly engulf what has been swallowed by the multiform mouths. Actually, let's read the description first. So the Devoured Tantra warns of the uses and dangers of appetite, but devotes an entire passage to the star-limbed hunger bringers, who it describes with obvious affection. And then a million blazing fires in the belly engulf what has been swallowed by the multiform mouths. And we have another delightful sacrament. No, our first delightful sacrament. So pleasant upon the ear, one could listen over and over. These are the words that make sacrifice sweet. Okay, so again, we'll just carry on with the books that we have. I believe in this case I'm going to need to translate all of them. So maybe I just want to go on a, maybe I just want to go on a big translation run. Lock the study door, the work begins. Okay, so Season of Despair coming up next. I want to be a little careful of that. The wood beneath the mantis is darker than this place. The moth will guide our footfalls. Success is very likely. Courier has arrived from our delight with a single vial of their most holy blood. So I want to either use this in some kind of a rite or in an initiation, although I believe we've already got all of our... Well, I've got one more upgrade I can do. Okay, so if I want to summon something, Subtle Rupture is available. I can never remember what's behind this. So I'm pretty sure there's Fascination waiting for me in the Painted River. But I think the Ascent of Knives would be Winter in this case. Let's try. Yeah. Oh, there was a Forbidden Epic. Okay. Winter passes the clothes, passes the skin, nestles in the veins. So this will eventually turn into Dread. This is a little bit of a threat, but there's also other things that we can summon with it. So it's, it's a little bit of a double-edged sword. I visited the Ascent of Knives last night, that harshest of roads through the house. It has been sacred to the Meniscate and the sun and rags since the intercalate, when the true sun was divided. When I woke, my room was freezing. The chill of it had cracked the window glass. Okay. Because we were using Winter already, it's gone, we are safe. So we have the Rising Heat. I suspect the Rising Heat will not be sufficient. So originally I was going to try and go back to the board seat and Glover. However, we're already kind of underway as far as the expedition is concerned. So maybe we should just keep on going with the summoning. We'll get the notoriety. We'll deal with all of that, and then we can. We'll just try again with the influence. That way I'll get rid of the potential threat of potential threat of dread. So let's get the sunset right back up. So we'll offer the bitter atmosphere this time. Bring Neville back in. I think he needs the practice. And then in this case we need Forge, so we'll bring the Calidate Invocation. Forge for the Smoky Spirit summoning. Winter for its binding. It must know who will rule it. My follower needs a bronze Spintrea to complete their task. Followers at work on the mirror. There's something up ahead. We've made it through the forest. And I sort of neglected going back to the stag door, so let's run with that. The mirror is repaired. It shines again as it did once before. Now, the biggest advantages to the Wild Ring mirror are going to appear later. I've been reluctant to go through the spider door just largely because of sort of who this character is. But in an emergency, I will be able to access some slightly better rewards. Alright, I prepared the text for study. So I think I'm just going to go translate the rest of the books here. So the Book of the True Blood, in this case the Book of True Blood. That's going to be in Latin, so we'll translate that. And another season of ambitions coming up, so that'll be good because this Savorous Blood will expire in time. This is the one that I need to worry about. And I'm leaving the talk verb available on the assumption that the the Callagine is going to be available to deal with the tentative evidence. Not all of Forge's children are bright. Its offcuts and its bastards gather in the bounds like hammerscale in the cracks of a smithy floor. Here comes one now. Callagine, at the corners of the forge, the bounds of the Mansus, the glory's fire meets baser elements. Here is a cunning vapor to infect your enemy's dreams. Alright, speak to something I've summoned. Not everything from the Mansus can speak, but everything can understand mortal speech, even once it has passed the white door. Alright, so here we're going to talk about the tentative evidence. Hopefully we can get rid of that. My scheme will most likely succeed. There is always a chance that something will go awry. I'm not sure if the rules work the same, so it's possible if there were a level 10 moth, we would have more success with that work. But in this case here, it's not really all that important that we make it happen. Okay, I'm just trying to think if there's something I can do for painting. I don't really have much in the way of reputation, so it could turn out that I actually suffer more from this. Oops. I could actually just be reduced to manual labor again the way things are going. Yeah, actually I think now that I think of it, if I do painting, the other risk that I run is that I'll have a I'll get some mystique, and right now I'm trying to keep that clear so that the heart followers can do their thing. So yeah, we're going to do unskilled labor. As silly as it sounds, it's actually my safest option for generating money right now. Against the Watchers, a powerful deception. Look closer, closer still, closer. Keep looking, closer, and close your eyes. Okay. I think I'm going to do the Ascent of Knives again. Actually, let's do a Painted River. This is mostly just so I kind of want to see what's going on here, but on the chance that I get the fascination from the Painted River, which I don't think is likely, I can offset the dread with that. Yeah, erudition's not bad either. I'm ready to improve. The Painted River runs from a great chamber near the White Door, far through the Mansus, to its far edge, where it enters a painted delta of far cloud. I voyaged half its length last night with a stern-faced captain beneath a rust-red sail. As the clouds rose before us, the sailors raised a yearning shanty and close-hauled the sails to best use the painted wind. And all the while the captain and I discoursed on the secrets of the House of the Sun. Okay, let's do another trip. Oop, not the spiders. I'm not quite that mean yet. I am a little concerned that I'm not going to have an answer to this, but okay, Season of Vision's coming up, so probably just as well I didn't pick up the Fascination. Clouds part, the wolf despair prowls elsewhere, no dread empowers us to spare, it's over for now, and we have completed the translation, so High Mysteries of the Innermost Chamber of our Church Solar, and we'll translate the book accordingly. Okay, so avoid fascination, after all. That's going to be important too when we cure ourselves. Our courier has arrived from our delight with a single vial of their most holy blood. So obviously getting the 7 graces at the time that I did was probably premature because, I was really short on money at the time. And I have a slightly better way of making quite a bit of money in the game right now. So, tampering with records, I await word. Right, the day is done, and so am I, but I've earned my pay. Okay, so I suppose the question now is, do I want to keep doing that with a work verb? Do I think I'm going to have to do something in the next 60 seconds that requires it? I mean, again, I very likely could have done... Actually, the way it's working... So 1.5... Their bewilderment is our opportunity. Okay, now I think it's a little more likely that we'll get caught by the notoriety. So in this case, I'm gonna keep doing the manual labor. I'm sure all the board members will walk by the construction site wondering what happened. Okay, my minion is returned. The evidence has been destroyed. I'm a little safer. So I'd love to put the Callaghan on the job here, but there's really nothing for me to do. Really nothing for it to do here, and I do need to have 2 knock, that or 2 lantern. Okay, so what I want to do with the talk verb. Now would not be a terrible time for me to consider bringing Leo in, but I feel like I should do something else. I'd love, of course, to turn in the commissions, but for the same reason. I am actually trying to generate a whole bunch of notoriety one after the other and have the Heart followers sort of deal with it at the time. So I could try and preserve the Callaghan just by talking with it in perpetuity, and that doesn't, that takes up the talk verb, but it also doesn't sort of consume the Callaghan. Not a terrible option, but perhaps there's something more exciting. Is there anything else I can talk about that would be more exciting? I don't think so. Let's talk with the Callaghan. Talk to him about the weary detective. No, that's going to send them to murder them. Okay. So I think here there would be fascination. So a scent of knives. Anger is implicit in every shape, so 10th order edge. Definitely if I wanted to summon something mean, I would definitely be able to bring it in, but I don't quite want to, so... Of the places my dreams took me last night, this has been written. The ascent is glass, the walls are knives, each step is blood. I did not climb far, the pain was too great. When I woke, that pain remained with me, a pain that I could employ to occult purposes if I hurry. Okay, so let's continue on. In this case, it's it'd be nice if I had a slightly better opportunity, or if I had better luck at getting the Forbidden Epics, but, it's a chance. It's not like I'm out of reason or anything, so... So this will just kind of let decay. There's really no penalty for me doing that. Okay, trembling in the air, don't need to worry about that. Coming up next, we've got a Season of Suspicion, so I do want to mind my manners as far as generating notoriety is concerned. This may be a risk. It's very likely the Season of Suspicion will crop up at the time, at the time we're generating the notoriety. Really nothing we can do about that, but something I want to be aware of. Their great power of opening will almost certainly find this hidden door, and the book has been translated, so let's start reading. On Matthias and the Amethyst Imago Transformation, an account of an occult romance. Certain Iovogos claims to have written this in a single night as part of his initiation into the Alpine branch of the House of Leith, that order of immortals who would not pledge themselves to any hour. And we're getting close to the end of our time together, so I'll read this book and we'll make that the last thing that we do tonight. So, we cast Matthias out and we pronounced a curse upon the Amethyst Imago, but we watched them in dreams, and we saw them pledge themselves to the forge to change themselves and ascend anew. Into the fire they fly. Alright, so there's a restlessness. Again, I want to do something to try and get rid of it, but I am a little constrained in my options just because I don't want to be generating mystique, and so painting is a little bit of a that's a more dangerous option to me. Alright, day is done, and so am I. I've earned my pay. So, one thing I could try and do is try a summoning with this, so let's see... Ooh, actually, that is an idea. So I might be able to get rid of all of it. So let's try... Oh, you know what? As in... Yeah, that's not going to count. An ingredient's different from an instrument. With 5 Forge and 1 Grail, I could use a forbidden procedure known as Forge's Redemption to return decrepitude to health. And actually all my knock followers are away too. Okay, so we brought in the Consent of Wounds. We've kind of got 2 of everything. If we brought Cat Caro, yeah, that wouldn't work. Looks like they really want the Forge of Days in there. So, Eau Claire, holy smoke. A Voiceless Dead, huh? These are the dead who do not descend or ascend, but who remain in the mantis and dream of winter. The power of winter, along with a little of the heart's warmth, will draw them here. I feel like that's just going to turn into dread in another way. But you know what? Let's run with it. Oh, good lord. Nothing to say. My words cease like sand in a glass. Okay. Painted River. Light leaks through the cracks. My mind is brighter than it ever was. The higher I rise, the more I see. Oh, it wasn't done yet. Okay. I dreamt of the mantis beneath the white door, of the great space above the orchard, the space that overlooks the bounds, the space where the vagabond once painted a river. Painted ships passed upon the painted river. I met the painted eyes of a painted captain. She saluted, and the motion was like the layered movement of clouds. The sail of the ship was amber, and the captain's eyes the green of new barley, and the river aquamarine. Now that I'm awake, I see those colors still. So the drawback here, I forgot about this. If I keep talking to Callagines, that's more likely to happen. So I'm just going to leave that be. However, we're going to send Dorothy out. Significant conversations in a smoky meeting room. What do I need from my follower? And we are going to talk about the Order of the Bloody Cup in hopes that we can pick up the notoriety before bad things happen. And I know I'm really pushing the end time here, so... Oops, away through the hidden door. That's not what I want. Yeah, so this is the time that the weary detective is going to pick up the... 8 lines in stone, a surface that yields to pressure. We found it. The hidden door moves with a grating shudder and a shower of dust. Okay. This is the first of the practices that the Imago and Matthias use to begin their ascent to power. They have risen beyond our sight, but their flames may yet burn in the Mallory. Shaping chant, which we already have. And I apologize for the extended time, but thank you for watching. As always, these videos will be coming up at 6 o'clock on Wednesdays and Fridays. And if you are enjoying it, do feel free to leave a like or a comment. I do enjoy reading those. And of course, if you haven't subscribed already, I would love that. I have been delighted at the growth of the channel. And if you do want to be notified when new videos come on, there is a little bell beside the subscription button, which will let you know that things are coming on. So I'll see some of you on Friday, and I hope you're doing well until then.